All right, what is good, everyone? I am going to be running over all the setups that were quite clean, in my opinion, from last week, so which is 16th of Feb to the 21st of Feb. Not that many trades were taken. I only took one trade, which ended up being break even, but I'm going to be running through most of the setups that you could have potentially caught in terms of discretion, because mainly from the way I was trading, which is inversion fair value gaps, I couldn't really find any clean setups. So starting off with Monday, we basically just sold off. So, right at market open, I remember looking at price action today, and then I was just like, yeah, price just wants to sell off today, which is exactly what ended up happening. So 9:30 comes around somewhere here, and then we just like sell off. But at 10 o'clock, was it 9:45? There was this one mechanical setup which you could have taken. I personally did not take this setup just because, number one, we were not bouncing off of any higher time frame PD arrays. So if you look to the left of us, there isn't really anything for me to. There isn't really anything that is like very significant in terms of a higher time frame fair value gap, which is what I really need. And yeah, I could not find anything. So for that reason, I completely avoided the trade and I just faded it, but it ended up playing out though. But in terms of an entry model, this is something which this is something I look out for pretty much every single day. So I think we basically sold off, and okay, obviously this 15-minute had not closed, so we had left this 15-minute gap as well. Just go back a little bit. We had this little 15-minute fair value gap. Yeah, and we also had another 15-minute fair value gap just above that, right? So obviously we had good targets. So usually how the MEC model works is you kind of need to pretty much trade in one direction and sweep off a higher time frame significant pool of liquidity, intermediate highs and lows, previous session highs and lows, previous day highs and lows. Now what makes that low or high significant is if that low or high is inside a higher time frame fair value gap. But if you look to the left of us, like, really isn't anything, which is why exactly I faded it. Now, what ends up happening is we build a bunch of low resistance liquidity to the left of us, and we get the strong move down, and we get an inversion, basically. So usually I would have completely avoided this, right? Because not, for example, because we did open up this bearish fair value gap, but we also have another bearish fair value gap over here. So price could just, because given price is just selling off that like really hard, we can't really predict reversals in cases of that. Usually the times that trade reversals are when price, slowly chopping and moving, generating significant highs and lows. Like, you can look at it and be like, yeah, this is a high and a low. But whereas in a case like this, these are just like strong candles to the downside. So I don't know if market's going to reverse, right? And also, I don't know if that was a high time frame. Yeah, okay, that was a 2-minute, which was over here. So this is the high time frame inversion leg. She could have taken, I think. I don't think that was a 3-minute. Oh, that was a 3-minute as well. But anyway, the point being, it looks good, right? The entry looks good. Given the displacement and stuff, you could have taken this 3-minute, and if you were very confident that price wants to tap into this 15-minute, you could have taken it. And I think it would have been a little 1-2-1. You could have actually just targeted a 1-1 basically. Yeah. I personally avoided it, and I know a lot of other traders avoided it as well, because 9 out of 10 times a setup like this will fail because there is no context. And after that, we decided to sell off, obviously, and then there was a significant low which was very significant, in fact. And I think I did take a 2-minute here. Anyway, and also keep in mind Monday was a bank holiday, so I don't think a lot of people anyway traded. So I'm just trying to go over the price action. But there really was not anything. You could have probably taken this 5-minute, but I don't know if it's going to play out. It seems very low probable to me. I don't think it did. But yeah, okay, it did. So yeah, you could have bagged a 1-to-1 there as well. But apart from that, there wasn't really anything significant from Monday. All right. So on Tuesday, I can't really remember what ended up happening. Yeah, right. Tuesday is one of the cleaner days, in my opinion. We ended up having a nice little AMD forming. So I think London was accumulating pretty much, and we decided to manipulate during New York Open, or just before New York Open. And I think we also had high impact news at 8:30. But yeah, I remember going into the day, my condition was I really wanted London highs being my main target. And I think I just couldn't get an entry. I think, if I'm not mistaken, prices, yeah. Basically, I did not get an entry. I was looking for something like this, which was so I know this 5 minutes not significant. I wish the 5 minutes was a bit more significant, and if we had gotten a little 1 minute or something over here, because I don't usually trade 30-second fair value gaps unless it's super obvious. So I was thinking of taking something if we got a 1 minute inversion, but price just decided to rip, targeting London highs and then potentially Asia highs. But I don't know if Asia highs end up getting taken out, but yeah, that was it. I think there was an SMT with Asia highs. I think. But yeah, so I think I was waiting. Yeah, the second setup, I think this was the most obvious setup. I wouldn't say A plus because of the risk to reward, but it was the most obvious setup, which was we swept London highs inside a high time frame fair value gap. I know we did leave Asia highs, but I think ES took out Asia highs, so it's completely fine. And I was about to enter this trade. I was waiting for this 5 minute to close, and bro, so many people who I know who trade inversions were looking for the exact same setup just to not get this close, and price ended up dumping by like 100 points, I think, after that. Yeah, like 200 points. But not one of the best days, Tuesday. Like, as in, like, it was very clear in terms of the draws. It's just you did not get an entry. But I did end up taking a 3 minute here, and I'll explain why I took this 3 minute, because so usually when you get a silver bullet on the higher time frame, on the 15-minute time frame, for example, right? You have a high and you have a low, and then you have this change in the state of delivery over here, right? And usually when price comes and respects that CISD and also respects the fair value gap, it's a good sign of price changing its direction. And my targets were previous week low and also this little intermediate low over here. We did end up getting a 3 minute, I think. Yeah, I think we did get a 3 minute. Yeah, so this was a close. This is the problem, right? My draws are super clear. I was very confident the price wants to trade lower. But an inversion like this is not the best. I would not take this if the draw was not clear, because it lacks displacement. And also when we leave wicks like this, I don't want to be entering trades like that. But I still entered because we had clear targets below, and I was just trying to target this little intermediate low over here. And can't remember what ended up yeah, I think I got stopped at break even. So I moved my stops to break even once we took out this low. and got stopped at break even after that. So, which is completely fine. You know, we followed your rules and then you trade. After that, literally nothing clean because I don't want to be longing given we have a significant drawn liquidity just below us. So for that reason, I completely avoided trading on Tuesday after that. And I think prices ended up reversing and then traded higher. I was not interested in anything after that. After this 15-minute got inverse, I was just like, yeah, not. I was expecting another reversal from this high, but price was just so bullish after that and ended up avoiding trading after that. Going into Wednesday, we also had FOMC meeting minutes. Not too significant, but you know, could be significant sometimes. When you look at this, when you look at something like this, what is the first thing that comes into your head, right? A market maker buy model. If you take the arc, this is your sell side of the curve, and this is the buy side, which we're forming. And usually we can expect reversals we can only expect a reversal until ES or NQ takes this high, because this is what caused this is the high that caused the market to start coming down. So my drawn liquidity was that high, but I think ES ended up taking it. So I did not get any trade on Wednesday as well. But it was just so obvious the draw. I was actually thinking of just entering blindly because of the drawn liquidity. But because it was a beautiful 9:30 open low, you know, when we leave wicks like this, you just not know, but then 9 out of 10 times price is most likely to continue trading in that direction. And I was waiting for a 5-minute to open up. I don't know if a 5-minute opened up. Yeah. So, and price action was just not clean on that day. So when you have these wicks, you don't want to be trading at all, because who knows what's happening to price. Like, we have a strong drawn liquidity. I do think ES ended up taking the high. Let me see. I think a lot of people entered a 1-minute short. Was there a 1 minute? Okay, never mind. I'm tripping, bro. But basically, that was nothing clean. Draw was clear, but it's just you didn't have an entry. I know I saw a few people entering off of this inversion, but bro, like, let's be real. You got lucky with an inversion like this, because chances are it's not going to play out. I mean, given the draw is very clear, you can enter based on an inversion like that. Like, it's fine when the draw is super clear. I was just not willing, because, you know, trading is a matter of discipline rather than just trying to make money. So I didn't want to risk it. So you could have entered, and even if you don't want to target the external high, you could have targeted one of these internal highs over here, or you could have even targeted something like there. And you could have gone break even here. This is a potential, like, I would rate this like a B setup, because this draw is clear, but then there isn't anything that's significant. And move your stops to break even once you take out that high, TP1, TP2, and then eventually you take out your drawn liquidity. After that, I was just not willing to trade because I did not like anything. And I was expecting price to actually, so that was a condition, because that was his daily fair value gap. So that was basically my draw, the unfilled daily fair value gap. Once I got taken out, I was just like, yeah, bro, the most obvious draw is taken out, so I'm not going to trade. And unless, like, we built up a bunch of liquidity before 11:30, and I was willing to take that, but then we were just chopping the entire time. Not winning, nothing clean for me. And also given we had FOMC, I know it's meeting minutes, but you know, sometimes I've seen really bad things happen on that, on meeting minutes days as well. That was his 3-minute. I don't know if it ended up playing out, but yeah. Anyway, basically nothing, right? And we just ended up just like doing a bunch of random stuff after 10 o'clock. So just don't trade in situations like that. When you don't know where price is going, just don't trade. It's not worth it. Like you don't have to know where price is going every single time. That's not the point of trading. The point of trading is you find the most probable setup and you take it. Because, bro, we are not in control of the market. We're just simply trying to react to the markets. And if you get something clean with an obvious draw, with a really good entry, then obviously we can think of taking it. Now, going into Thursday, I think one of the worst trading days of the week. I don't think Thursdays are usually like that, but bro, price is so bad because I'll tell you the reason why. Number one, we are respecting this for our bullish fair value gap, right? And number two, we're respecting this hourly bearish fair value gap. So what happens when price is respecting two high time frame fair value gaps is price just ends up chopping around until one of them gets disrespected. So I think that's what ended up happening on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. Like, as in, price is just not clear with its direction. Ooh, wait, was this the 2 minute? That was the day I took a 2 minute. Yeah, this was the one. Was it this? Did I take this 2 minute? I think I took this 2 minute, yeah. So I took this 2 minute based on the fact that we were respecting this 15 minute, respecting the hourly, and we souped the high inside an hourly. So I was quite confident about a reversal. Also, like a lot of sauce right now, because I did enter off this 2 minute. I took my entry right there, stops at about, I think, over there. And initially my break even was here. And also note, at this time, ES and NQ were not correlated that well, so I wasn't too confident with the trade anyway. But I was willing to risk an amount that I was willing to lose, so it was chill. I was just trying to target this low. But price ends up chopping, bro. Like, you don't understand. Price is just chopping the entire time. And what I did was, instead of waiting for this low to get taken, because ES was kind of very bullish, I kind of changed my condition to, if we take out this low, I'm going to move my stop to break even, because even if I get stopped at break even, it's completely fine. At this point, I just want to get out of the trade. Either I get stopped at break even, or I win the trade, or I lose the trade. So I get stopped at break even, and price, ends up, I think it hits my stop and then reverses or some shit like that. But basically, what is this? What is this price action? And to anyone who's trading support and resistance, it would have been a really good day. But yeah, basically that's what ended up happening. That was a nice 11 a.m. reversal, but yeah, nothing on Thursday basically. Friday, again, I think it was a very unclear day for me as well. I was very neutral. I mean, I was leaning on the bearish side, because now that the market maker buy model was over, I was expecting a market maker sell model now, because we had built up so much. We had this buy side of the curve, and then I was expecting the sell side of the curve to complete at least until this low. I think that was previous day, I think PM low or something like that, launch low or something like that. Not too significant, but quite significant. So I didn't know what was happening. I'll be honest, like, I came into the market with a very neutral bias though. I was just like, you know what, let me just see what market wants to do, and I'll just, do that. I'll just react based on what the market wants to provide. We had this high, so once I saw this 50-minute candle just like close really strong, the above, even though I was looking for sells coming into the day, I completely kind of changed my bias looking at this 50-minute candle, because I saw the displacement and I was like, yeah, there's a good chance price wants to just trade lower from now. And we had these two buy side targets above. So ideally, I was just looking for a continuation. So, but is price going to give it to us? No, never. I just wanted this to be swept. like asked to tap into this. I know ES tapped into it. Usually I want NQ to tap into it as well. Like when I'm looking for longs on NQ, I want NQ to tap into the fair value gap as well. It really depends on the situation. It was just like, it really depends on the situation. But in that case, I was just looking for NQ to tap into the gap as well. But yeah, we just did not. And given we had these stacked lows, I've seen it plenty of times where price just ends up stop raids us and then like delivers back. But yeah, we just don't get it, and then price just rips through to the drawdowns on liquidities that I had marked. And yeah, I got off the charts. It's a Friday, you can't really expect too much. So I don't, was there a mech short? I remember looking for a mech short, but then I didn't like the fact that our stop was going to be 200 points. And also we were respecting this tiny little 2-minute gap. So I didn't want to enter short as well. And just let market do its thing. Like the only other way I was looking for long still was if price came, swept out all of this low resistance liquidity, like something like that, and taps into the 5-minute fair value gap, then I was going to take a long. Apart from that, nothing clean. And price just ends up ripping through, yeah. So basically, I only entered 2 trades last week, and both of them were A-rated setups. I would not even consider them A+ setups. Even though we had good direction, clear discretion, we had all of it, we did not have our entry models. So you're going to have those days where sometimes your entry models are presented, but then your draws on liquidity are not there. But sometimes you have your draws on liquidity, but you don't have your entry model. The market's just testing your patience, right? You don't want to be blowing your accounts. I've made enough and more mistakes, so I'm really trying to stay locked in this time, and not give in to the market rather than and just blowing my account. Rather, I just want to like take it easy, even if I don't get my setup. Because what's the worst thing that could happen if you don't trade one day? Like, what's the worst? Or like a week? Like, it's not gonna do much. Like, if anything, you probably might lose your capital. So avoid conditions like this. And yeah, I'll see you guys. Before I see you guys, good luck with trading this week, and I'll be going over the price action as well at the end of the week. And subscribe, it will really help me out so that this video goes to more and more people as well. Join my Discord, follow my Instagram, and follow my TikTok. I'll be posting there every single day about all the trades I take and my live trades. And I will see you guys next week.